So traders, it's Monday, or Monday for me anyway, and we are getting ready for another amazing week. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's have a look at, I'm going to just have a good look across all the markets, guys, and a bit of a market update. This is a technical analysis market update. So let's actually start off with the good old Dow Jones and what we're looking through here. And we're going to see what's going on. Now, guys, if you haven't done so yet, then make sure you get access to my trading course. I'm giving away for free. There's actually 5 phases in there. Phase number 1 is all about the biggest mistakes you're making right now and how to overcome them. Phase number 2 and 3 are all about chart reading and advanced chart reading and trading techniques. Phase number 4 is a bit of a something special. Phase number 5 is about my trading system, the system that I use, and how the 3 secrets, and there's a whole bunch of training through there. So the whole thing goes for roughly around, I'll have to say about 4 or 5 hours in total. So that's actually how long the complete course goes for. Again, guys, go over there right now. Link in description or johnsfreegift.com. So the big thing I'm looking at right now with the Dow Jones is that the indices is that we're getting to a close point right now where we're getting oversold. And I'm not talking about stochastics, I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about looking at the moving average. So if we're looking at the, say, this is a 52 moving average, and we're very, very, very oversold. And how I see that is that notice that the distance from the moving average, when we get too far away from the moving average, what does that mean? That means it's like an elastic band, right? And you see this happen all the time. And this is actually a big thing that a lot of traders have a hard time understanding, because a lot of traders right now will be trying to short the market because it's been going down. They think it's going to continue going down. Step one is, how does the market work? The market moves in waves, right? Down, and then we get a pullback. Get down, we actually possibly get too far away from what? Let's call that the moving average, and then we get a bit of a pullback, and then we get a bit of a drop, right? So when the market drops here, we get a pullback, and then you get stopped out, and then the market drops, like, oh, the market's rigged, and no, you're just a shit trader. Hey, that's exactly what I had to say to myself when I was loading this stuff anyway. And so, guys, we're actually getting very, 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 very way. Oh, by the way, guys, that's saying that you're a shit trader. That was me saying what I had to tell myself to actually then learn, okay, it's not the market. It's not the market that gets me. It's me that gets me, okay? So we can see here, look at this, right? Where we are right now, look how far we are from the actual distance from the moving average. We're actually the furthest we've been away for a long time. So even, and as you can see, even back in the COVID, the black swan, right? Big move down, and then we got to pull back towards the moving average. See where we are right now? We're actually too far away from the moving average, so now we're getting to a very overbought territory. So that tells me we're probably going to get a bit of a I would have to say a strong reversal coming back. Even back through here, you can see how that when we get these pullbacks too far away from the moving average, then we start to get the pullback. Too far away from the moving average, we start to get a pullback. That's where, for me, guys, the best thing I like to do is I like to have a trading setup. In that free trading course, phase number 5, I'm going to teach you my setup. But then I'm looking for trades near the moving average, near the moving average, near the moving average. Why? Because we're not overbought where the market's too far away from the moving average up here, and we're not here where it's now oversold, where we're possibly going to get a pullback, right? If I'm trading with the trend, which we should be doing, then we don't trade with the trend and then trade straight after this market's gone down. Why? Because of what we talked about there, right? So to me, the best time to be looking for a trade is 1, trading with the trend, and 2, waiting for the pullback to get close to the moving average, because it's like a reset, right? This market drops down, pullback, reset, ready for another run. Pullback, reset, ready for another run. Pullback, reset, ready for another run. We need to wait for the pullback, the reset, to go for possibly another run in the markets. Make sense, guys? So I believe we're going to start there. It looks like we're probably going to have either a sideways week, or we're probably going to start to see a big move up. We're possibly getting towards a point where I believe a very strong move up is possibly going to happen to close these gaps through here. So those gaps will get filled. That's the Dow Jones. Same thing. This is the same sort of situation for the S&P as well too. We've had like if you look at here, you don't get these gaps. These gaps will get filled. And this very big, massive oversold level where we are right now. Big gaps in the markets. Again, you don't normally get those sort of gaps. And when you do, even back here, right, we had a few gaps, like here, and here. We had a few gaps, but literally within a few months, it came back up and retraced it. So we are going to get, I believe we're going to get a bit of a slingshot move back up to actually start to retrace that. We're oversold, as you can see. The market comes back down, wait for the reset, near the moving average, go back down. We're likely to have a bit of a pullback now. And I reckon we're going to get a bit of a slingshot move back up, and a slingshot move which seems like a hard move. Again, that's me guessing, not what the market's telling me. But got these gaps through here, guys. We could actually start to see this thing start to make a nice hard and fast pullback in this underlying trend to start to come and close these gaps through here. Maybe over now through to the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq is definitely majorly oversold. We had a drop down, we had a little pullback, and then we're having a bit of a drop down through here. So I believe, guys, looking at the market, I believe we're getting ready for, this is like a final hooray type thing. Not a final thing, but the markets, we got a drop down through here. We ain't got a little pullback, and then we're going through another drop down through here. We've done a lot of move through here, so I believe we're likely to start to maybe even just have another bit of a pullback coming soon. We're at this level of that. What's that sort of 10,500 level, which is the next major support level in the markets. So the oversold level, guys, we're probably going to get ready for a bit of a slingshot move to the upside. Let's go have a look at just the silver and gold markets here. On a short-term technical level basis here, guys, we're looking at gold, and gold is just continuing to go sideways. Which way is gold going to break? Because this whole box through here, where we are right now, this whole sideways, it's telling us we're getting a strong moving average. It's like, which way is it going to break? Because if we do get a strong breakdown like this, we get something like this. Okay, we get something like that, and let's just change that to a red. There we go, make that big thick, right? We get something like that breaking down, then there's a good possibility we're going to start to see a move back down towards the 1700 level out of that. If we don't, and we start to do something like this, and we start to break back up, then we're going to be starting to break past key major levels, these major significant resistance levels back here. And once we do that, then we're possibly getting ready for a move up, because we're possibly making a higher low here. So we have a low here, and we have a possible higher low with a very nice pullback. So we get that could be a higher low to start to see this thing start to have a very nice move back to the upside. Looking at silver, and silver's doing sort of the same thing as well too, right? We had a low point, so we've got this low point through here, like that, and we have a higher low right there. So we're getting this higher low with silver. This whole thing with silver right now could possibly be, and this is where we need to be really patient but present with the market. This actually could be a bit of a false, like a final move down on silver before we start to see a move up. Because if we get something like this, on silver, and let me just change that color there to maybe a green. Okay, cool, right? If we get something like that on silver, what does that mean? Well, if we get something like this, what does that mean? That means then what? We've actually broken, we've had a higher low, so the buyers are coming back in. Okay, but then we've had a major support level around the 22. We've actually broken down, and then now it's gone sideways and breaking back up. That tells you this whole move down through here would be a false breakdown or bear trap, so to speak. And then we're probably likely to see the slingshot move coming back up. So there could be some really good opportunities coming, especially in the silver market through there. Move over now through to the GDX, and the GDX is right near these lows here. You would think that if we're going to get some sort of a bear trap happening in the markets, we're probably going to get that sort of bear trap happening around on these gold mining stocks through here. The $29 level there is the big one that I'm seeing through there. And the SIL, SIL is just in a very strong down bear market through here. There's really no change of trend yet. The good thing about the SIL, it's starting to make some very nice patterns. We're starting to get very clear patterns through here. So you can see here that we actually had a move down, sort of a move down through here, sort of a move up, a move down, a move up, a move down, a move up, and a move down. We're getting very nice, clean patterns, which is good because if we can, because it's giving us a good, clear direction. Right now, the trend's down on the silver, SIL. But it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens through there. So right now, the trend is down. But if we do start to get some sort of a change in trend where we get something like this, where we get something like that, and we start to break back up, and we start to break past sort of like these sort of key areas of support through here, then we could possibly start to see a bit of a change in tune there. So we're not getting that right now, but the good thing is it's creating very nice clean patterns, which is telling us that right now the sellers are in control. And that's what we're seeing through there. And also, last but least, looking at the good old Bitcoin right now, we're actually at that 20,000 level. And if we go have a look at the, let me just share this up with you here. Let me just bring this up to here, right? So we can see Bitcoin right now is down at that 20,000 level, and you can see major support down at 20,000, and now it's actually getting a bit of a bounce. The big thing I really want, the big thing that we can look back on with the whole cryptocurrencies in general is that the lessons we can continue to learn. And I actually didn't get into cryptos. I actually made a lot of money shorting Bitcoin, but not buying Bitcoin. I didn't buy Bitcoin on the way up, but I did do a lot of shorting on the way down. Is the big thing that I think a lot of traders and investors can learn from the crypto mania that's happened in the last couple of years, is that when you start to get very emotional and very sort of excited about a market because everyone else is making money, millions of people making money, you see people like driving a Lambo. It's like, what do you do? Oh, I trade crypto. It's like, okay. So the big thing is that we can continue to learn that when we start to see the herd, when they start to see all that sort of stuff on the outside, that sort of stuff happening, the big lesson is to run from that, not to get sucked into it. And that's what's happened with property lately. That's happened with the stock market. That's happened with cryptos. It's happened with a lot of things. The only thing it hasn't happened with is gold and silver. And that's why I really like gold and silver, because no one is doing that. Oh my goodness, I made so much money from these markets. And then everyone is like, gold and silver, why are you touching that for? So that's the reason why I like gold and silver for long term, because we're not getting that, I've made millions of dollars, you should be on this, and so on and so forth yet. When we do get that in gold and silver, and it will come, then the tide will turn, millions of people come out, yada, yada, yada. And then that's when you need to be like, okay, I need to be selling. And that's the reason why for the last sort of couple of years, I've been sort of telling my inner circle clients that don't be chasing the herd mentality. Just because crypto's gone up 600% in 6 months, which it did back here in basically 2020, the end of 2020 into 2021, it just had a massive move. It's probably going to be a bit of a bubble and then a move down. The next thing you can really learn is learn from the old. Everyone had a go at Warren Buffett. Everyone was having a go at Warren Buffett about not really looking at crypto, and Charlie Munger about what they were saying about that. But even if you are in cryptos and you're a crypto lover and all that sort of stuff, which the whole word crypto lover, don't be a lover of any market, guys, right? The markets don't give a shit about you, really. So don't be a lover of any market. Be a trader of these markets. Don't be like, oh, I really love trading crypto. Why not love trading all markets? Because if you know how to trade the market, you can trade any market. Really, it's not like, oh, I'm a Forex trader and my system works on the Forex market. Yeah, well, if it works on the Forex market, it's going to work on the stock market, because they all operate the same way. The same humans, same machines are operating every single market out there. That's why they make the same sort of moves. Is that we can go back to learn from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger about those things that actually happen with that, and again we can ignore the reality of what's happened with what's happening with here, and we can blame whatever. But we also can look back, and if you can look back and then start to learn the lessons from, okay, why did this happen? What actually happened in the past? The big thing was there was a massive mania around there. People were doing this and all that sort of stuff. And again, that's the same with the property market, right? Same that happened with the cryptos, because everyone was going crypto mad. I had gym people talking about buying cryptos and so on and so forth. It's like, oh my goodness, all these people buying cryptos. Okay, I'm not buying cryptos, and I didn't buy cryptos. I actually got into gold, and my gold's actually still doing really well. I'm actually really happy that I got into gold, because my goal is about break even, maybe slightly up on my gold position, where if I did do the exact same thing at the exact same time, I'd be down 50% right now trading the crypto markets. And that's the exact same with the property market, right? Everyone's talking about property. And this is where the hardest thing about being a good investor in the markets is waiting for people to tell you what to do. And that's where, because most people have that herd mentality. Most people have the herd mentality about, I want to get into the markets and I want to actually trade the markets, but I need to wait for someone to tell me what to do. And when you wait for someone to tell you what to do, then it's too late, because by the time you're actually hearing about it, the boom has already happened and the market's already up 200%, and you're trying to get in, and then because the nature of the beast of how the markets work, the market's going to pull back, the market's going to stop you out. Then you're going to say the market's rigged, the market burnt you, and it's not for you, and then you're going to get blown out of the markets 90 days from now, because 90% of traders lose 90% of their accounts in 90 days. 90. And so the big thing that we need to understand there is that when we're actually looking at the markets and we're trading the markets, the good thing is that we need is to go through there is to, if you want to be a really good investor, it takes a testicle fortitude to say, okay, then where are most people not liking to go? And then that's where I need to go, because we need to buy when people are fearful. We need to sell when people are greedy. And when we're actually looking at that and we actually trade the markets, all right, I'll slow down. I'll slow down on you now. Just going through this bit of a short-term spell for you, and a bit of a mindset motivation for you guys on this Monday for you guys. But when we're looking at the markets, guys, we can see and we can trade these markets, right? And we can trade the markets in a way of doing really well. And all we have to do is just sit back, and if you've got more than a 4 in front of your name, which I almost have, so. You can look back through the last couple of decades and we can actually see, okay, when were the best times to actually start to look at getting involved with any market out there, right? Oh, it was when oil went negative. Oh, that was actually the time to buy oil. Oh, it was when we actually had the massive crash in 2008, the property market. Oh, okay, there's a good time to buy. You know what I'm saying? When was the wrong time to buy tech stocks? Obviously in 2000, right? When's the wrong time to buy? Because everyone was doing the whole the crypto thing. The tech thing back in 2000, right? The same thing with the tech bubble. When's the wrong time to buy property? When the property market's already gone up 20, 30%, 40% sometimes, and everyone's talking about buying investment properties, and everyone's talking about how much money they're making and so on and so forth, because the interest rates are low and so on and so forth, right? It takes a real, and again, all we need to do is we need to sit back and say, then, if I want to become very wealthy over the next 10 years, all I need to do is position myself where most people don't even want to go to right now. And I know the cycles will turn, because just like when oil went negative, then suddenly 12 months, 2 years later, we're seeing an oil boom, right? It's like, how funny that. Good time to buy was when that was happening. Good time to buy real estate, end of 2008, 2009, possibly 2010. That was a good time to buy real estate. Because why? Because you're going to go through another boom. Now we're going through another property boom. Now is the wrong time to be buying real estate. I see all my friends, I see people talking, oh, buy real estate, especially here in Australia. Buy real estate. It's like, no, don't touch that. Run away from it, right? But guys, that's the investing, right? There is a difference between trading and investing. And what are you? And what are you focusing on? If you're trading the markets for income, right, you're looking for positions to get in and get out quickly. Now, quickly, what I mean, it could be in a matter of a few weeks or a matter of a few days. If you're a short-term trader, then you need to have some sort of approach, a system that you can rely on, that you believe in. If you're not doing that, if you don't have some sort of a system, which typically just means a pattern, what setup are you looking for that's going to give you the best probability of doing that? If you don't have that, you're gambling and you're never going to get ahead long term. You're going to spend your next 12 months spinning your ass, spinning your wheels, and you're going to wonder why you're not moving forward and actually making progress, because you haven't actually had any foundation to actually move progress on. Your foundation is your system. What sort of approach are you using? And if you're not using anything, then stop trading right now until you actually use that. Again, in my free trading course, I teach you my system. Start with there if you want to. So, and again, if you are losing a lot of money, video number 1, you get instant access to, which is all about the 13 biggest mistakes you're making right now. But that's a trading mentality, right? That's a trading mentality. But then you also have an investing mentality. Investing mentality is I'm buying and holding for next 5-10 years, right? You have a mentality of buying a property. When you buy a property, you're like, okay, I have a 10-year view of the next 10 years. This should double. You do that with and that's where I look at the mining stocks right now, and I look at, say, gold, and it's like double. Man, we are going to go through one of the most economic booms in history when it comes to gold and mining stocks. But that's a buy and hold mentality. A buy and hold mentality is like, I don't know when that's going to happen. That may start this week. Hey, we may go sideways for another week. We may go down another 10-20% in those sectors, for the next couple of months. It may be 2023 when we start to see things starting to slowly heat up. Hey, and you know, and then it goes up and down, and then maybe 2026 or 2027 we really start the big boom. Who knows? Next year we could start the big boom. We don't know. I don't know. One thing I'm really confident with is from the investing mentality, the investing side of things, the investing, you know, where I'm buying and holding. I'm not looking for short-term moves. I don't give a damn rat's ass about the short-term moves. If you're buying, holding for the long-term, one, look at where we are going when it comes to this history. That's where, and one, look at where we're going. We're changing, right? We're going back. Through history, we go from hard money to soft money to hard money to soft money. I think it was 1971. Right, the correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the actual chat box, but you know, the whole delinking, right, of gold to paper. Now we just got, that was hard money, now it's soft money. Guess what's coming? We're gonna have some sort of a hard money again, right? And I believe, and we know it's gonna be digital. So to me, the only thing that makes sense again is digital backed by gold, backed by actual something value. Because Bitcoin is not a value. There's nothing value behind Bitcoin. You can't use it. Right, so they always, and through history, they always go back to hard money. So that's one of the reasons why I really like to see that. I really like to use the analogy of that. You know, that I used. Look at that from okay, we're probably likely to go back to gold. So gold's going to become really valuable as this decade unfolds, especially because we're going to go through. On the other side of this decade, we're going to go through another big, massive inflation spike, and that's really going to send gold and mining sector through the roof. So those who are prepared are going to experience that. But then also, secondly, guys, when we actually look at the way cycles work, remember I said before about cycles, right? When things get hammered, then that's when you want to buy, and when things are booming, you don't want to stay. You know, guess what's happening with the mining sector? There's really overall for the last decade. Nothing, right? No one wants to touch it. It's like, oh man, that thing keeps going down. Silver, gold, mining sector. So what do you think is going to happen the next decade, right? This is not a 6-month view or a 12-month view. This is like an 8 to 10 year view, right? This is like what's going to happen in 2030. We're in 2022 now. Makes sense, guys? Becoming very wealthy is all about seeing where we are going and buying, holding, and then having the patience, and then not worrying about what happens on the short term. Now, I'm a both trader. I do that. I'm positioned in gold and the mining sector, specifically the GDXJ. They're my big positions, right? Those positions are going to make me fortunes, right? And my goal is to do 30 million out of that. That's my big long-term goal out of that. I don't know if I'm going to hit that, but that's by 2030. That is okay, guys. By 2030. So we'll see. We'll see if that comes true by the time 2030. That's my overall goal. So I'm building positions to potentially do that by that time. But then on the flip side, to pay for my bills and so on and so forth. And what I do is I have an active income. Now I use a trading setup and a trading pattern. Again, in the trading course, guys, I teach you my trading setup. I teach you what I look for. I teach you how to find the trades and so on and so forth. And what I do to actually trade the market, so I can have that gives me a really high win-loss ratio. So I can use that for income, right? So I'm using that to trade the markets and so on and so forth. So traders, the thing that moving forward from you is that if you are going through a tough time right now, and maybe you've got stung, maybe you got stung. Maybe you got stung. You didn't get stung. You didn't get stung at all, right? The market didn't sting you. It's just you were very uneducated around how these markets work and how things work. If you've got a bit of a whack now because you got sucked into the stock market late last year when the market was continuing to boom, and you didn't understand the whole thing that I talked about when the market gets so far overextended that we're probably likely to pull back and so on and so forth. If you did get sucked into the crypto market that I saw so many people get so sucked into last year, if you were listening to my videos last year, you would know the big thing I was saying is like, no, don't touch the crypto market, go to gold. Don't touch crypto market, go to gold, right? That was the big thing I was saying. If you did get sucked into that herd mentality, and maybe you lost a lot of money, take full responsibility of what happened to you. Don't blame anyone else, because when you blame someone else, you're not learning the lessons. Without the lessons, you can't move forward. And when you can't move forward, you're not going to achieve your dreams. Okay, so don't do things to knock down. Don't do things to knock yourself down. Don't do things to set yourself back. You know what I mean? Don't do things to to downgrade yourself, but downgrade yourself and pull yourself down. But it's like, then, okay, well, obviously I did this. Obviously I clicked the button. Obviously I did something wrong here. What am I missing here? And start to look at this. Maybe start to look at some of the lessons that you can learn. And again, if you're don't point the finger at anyone else. Don't say, well, it was the market, it was the manipulator, it was this, it was that, it was the Fed. Like, no, like, let's actually be real here. If you're going to point the finger at someone else, you're not going to learn the lessons. And without the lessons, you don't move forward, right? You don't get those breakthroughs that continue getting better at what you do. So just look at what you're doing. But don't quit, okay? Don't quit. That happens to the best of us. Me, I lost $250,000 when my first 4 to 5 years traded the markets, okay? It happens to the best of us. And so, but I promise you that if we can sit back, if you are getting smacked a little bit around with these markets, if you can step back and say, okay, what are some of the lessons that I can learn about the way that I'm trading and the way that I'm investing in these markets? One, are you a trader or are you an investor? Because they're different approaches. A trader is a pattern set up, get in, get out, stop loss management, so on and so forth, right? An investor is more like, I'm going to buy this market, and it's more like a buy and hold for the rest of this decade, right? We don't really care what happens this year, really. That's a different mentality. Makes sense? So if you are going through a bit of a tough time, a bit of a hard time in the markets, then don't be hard on yourself, but really have a look at, okay, what did I miss and what am I doing wrong here? How am I approaching this? What am I doing wrong here? Maybe you did get sucked in because everyone else was telling you to buy this because everyone else was buying it, and you heard all these stories and you looked it up and all that sort of stuff. You heard people making millions, and and then crypto's going to go to 100,000 and all that sort of stuff, or a million and all this sort of stuff that comes out in bubbles. Maybe you got sucked into the bubble. So maybe we can sit back and say, okay, then, well, I got sucked into the bubble and that didn't work. But looking back through past, if I'm actually looking for a really good opportunity to actually get into a market, when's the best time when I should be looking? When we're actually going through a big, massive crash. Maybe crypto is a good time to buy right now. I don't know. I'm not telling you to do that right now. But looking at the markets and looking at cryptos, things are pulling back quite hard and there's a lot of fear in the markets, right? So now would be a much better time to be looking at things like that. I'm not telling you that. I'm not in the crypto market at all myself. And maybe the best times to be looking at buying and holding something, if you're looking to hold something, is when there's blood on the streets, but also secondly, you have that cycles coming through. Cycle simply means of where we're going in life. So there we go, traders, and I'll speak to you real soon. Hey traders, I'm giving away 100% free access to my brand new Breakthrough full trading course. This is 8 videos over 10 hours of pure amazing and powerful strategies. This is my most powerful systems and strategies that I've used for the last 16 years, and I'm giving it away for free. So this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link around here somewhere, a button or in the description or somewhere in there. Click on that and you can go get free access to my brand new Breakthrough trading course. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now. Go to that right now, guys. You can get full, complete, free membership access. Go do that right now.